Yo, what's good, guys? This is Chill Pill or Kyler, and today I have probably one of the most insane stories of my life. So sit back and stay tuned. So, during this time, I was living with my mom, kind of just moving place to place to place. Uh, at one point, I was living with a drug dealer. Well, I wouldn't even say drug dealer. He was what would you go, I can't remember. Pretty much, he sold drugs in every state to anybody to just a bunches of amounts. So he was gone most of the time, and I'm gonna make a story on that alone. But anyways, uh, yeah. So we were just moving place to place, and then I ended up moving in with my uncle and my aunt. Not the one I'm living with now, but she ended up stealing from them, so we got kicked out of there, and that's when she was just like, okay, I don't know what to do. So I was like, I want to live with my aunt because I'm not trying to move back to West Virginia and everything, and it sucked. And before you get the impression like somebody like kidnapped me, nah, it's not how it is. So pretty much, I was about to move in with my aunt, and she just hit the highway. Like, didn't tell anybody we was leaving. I live in Illinois, and we was moving back to West Virginia, and I lived there before this all happened. But it sucked. I hated there, and so yeah, I didn't want to go back. So she hits the highway, doesn't say anything. I didn't have a phone at the time because I broke mine literally like a week prior, and I had to wait to get a new one. Because I mean, if you break your phone, most parents are just gonna be like, all right, I'll go get you a new one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she hits the highway, and I'm just sitting there like, what are you doing? And she was like, you're coming with me, you're my son, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't want to live there. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not trying to move back there. It sucks. And so yeah, I didn't have any way to call home. I was being a dick. I was like cussing her out. I was calling her a terrible mom, which she's not, but like, that is no way to handle a situation. So yeah, she hits the highway, and she doesn't stop anywhere for hours because I told her the second that we stopped that I'm gonna like pretty much tell everybody that she kidnapped me and call and have my dad come get me. So yeah, we're already like 3 4 hours away, and I pretty much just gave up and I was like, so I ended up just going, and we get there and I go back downstairs where I was living, and it sucked. And uh, so first day of school, didn't have friends when I was first there, so they come back, and surprisingly, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Kyler's back!" And this actually made me really popular. So, because I was gone for probably a few months, maybe a year, and I came back, and suddenly everybody's like, "Holy shit, it's Kyler!" Blah 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 blah. Like, and like it just everybody was all going crazy about it. So I made a lot of friends this way. It was pretty weird, but yeah. So, um, all that happened, and just it it's hard to explain all this, but yeah. So I was making a bunch of friends. I was doing a bunch of crazy stuff with them. If you do remember one of my stories about leaving state, it's I'll put it down below. But pretty much the day before I moved back to Illinois, I left state, and like not like left, like we snuck out of state to a party kind of. And yeah, there's a whole story about that. But it was just so crazy. Like, I pretty much got kidnapped to West Virginia and just didn't have any way to get home. So yeah, I kind of explained that really, really fast. But pretty much we were just bouncing around everywhere. It was just really difficult. We was living with people. I remember this one person we lived with in like a ghetto ass neighborhood. We was sleeping and everything, and like just a big bang happened out of nowhere, and we all jumped up. We were like, "What is that?" And just this dude was just kicking in our door, and if it wasn't for my dog and the little like chain thing, we could have died. We could have got robbed. I don't know what would have happened, but yeah, he kicked in the door, but the little chain that was on the door and everything stopped him from actually kicking it in completely. And then my dog put his head through the door, or her head through the door, and started biting the shit out of him. So he ran away and everything. But yeah, so if I wouldn't have had a dog there, he could have easily kicked that chain in. So yeah, that all happened, and I remember fucking uh same house that we were living at that time. We were only living there for like a week, but uh she had like her and her friend that we was living with had like 10 dudes come over. It was just the most uncomfortable shit ever. And they was smoking fucking weed. They was doing so many like coke, so much shit. And I just ended up saying fucking. I went on a walk, and as I went on a fucking walk, like probably like 3 to 6 people started following me, and I was like 14, 15 at the time, and a bunch of dudes fucking following me. Like they were getting closer and closer and closer. I was like, yeah, I'm about to get fucking robbed. So I took off running and fucking went behind this little fence and hid, and they ran past. And then I went fucking back, and I was just like, Jesus. Snuck through the back, went to sleep. All that happened. Then after that, we was living with I can't remember what the name is, but yeah, pretty much he sold drugs everywhere, so he wasn't ever there. And my mom ended up stealing like, I don't know. He had a drawer filled with weed, like so much weed, and she would smoke that all the time, and she ended up stealing a lot of shit from this dude. And whenever I say like he was a like international drug dealer, if like he had a safe that was full of fucking money, and then every time I'd go in his room whenever he was there, which he rarely ever was, there would just be like fucking piles upon piles of cash on his bed and everything. But I'm pretty sure he's in jail now. He was a nice dude, but fuck him, honestly. Like, yeah. And then after that, I was living with my aunt and uncle. She stole from them. We got kicked out, and then it was just like, what were we gonna do? I told her just to go back, and she ended up just saying fuck it, hitting the highway, and wouldn't stop until we were hours away from Illinois. So there was just no point in waiting 4 hours at a gas station for my dad or aunt to come get me, and then possibly having something bad happen to me. But anyways, yeah, I explained that super fast, but it was one of the most crazy experiences I ever had within a few month period. So I hope you enjoyed. Press a like. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. A bunch of stories to come. Peace.